What's happening? Today is Memorial Day, and it's always important to remember the military and those who fought and served. And I have quite a few of my family and friends who people have done. However, let's talk about what's going on here on American soil and surface, shall we? Because there is a war that's brewing in these streets against these politicians, and they bring up all kinds of ammunition about, well, this got a background checks, mental illness, mental health, etc. But the accessibility and the bottom line is this: um, guns aren't needed. I'm gonna keep reemphasizing that they're not needed. Not when you are putting something on open display. It's like if you give somebody access to something, you're giving them an options. You're putting too much forthright. Ask yourself something: why does Walmart need to sell guns? Grocery store, clothing store, children go there, people go there, all ages, backgrounds. Why? Why? You know, ask yourself, say that for a sporting good place. See, because all this tie in to fit in to create this situation for inclusion is doing too much. There are places that don't need to be part of that situation, you know. And I point out places that just doing this because it's kind of like their own version of the pharmaceutical industry. You pimp a product, it's a light there, it's attractive, we're going to bring it forth, and we hope that you will indulge. There is no rhyme or reason. But in this day and time, a lot of places need to be looked at differently, and not a lot needs to be said because how many more massacres and tragedies do you have to go through? And you've been saying this for hundreds of years. This is nothing new under the sun, you know. So why? Why isn't this out legislated? Why isn't this being dealt with? Politicians are always conveniently on vacation or conveniently sweep it underneath the carpet and they don't want to deal with it. One of these days, when it hits close to home, they won't have no choice. And then what? So that's my thing. And the military is one thing. People in certain capacities, if they're doing their job, that's another. But generally speaking, Joe and Blow, Mary on the public, don't need no guns. You're sending out the wrong message. Really, you are. And it's too much of this being allowed as acceptable behavior and normality, which because it creates within the creation. See, I do believe the guns in the neighborhoods, especially in the black hoods and stuff, was created to take out legalized genocide. But when it starts to happen to the burbs or in certain places, then that's when we have an epidemic. We'll see how it plays out, because that's the only time it really gets some notoriety when it goes into places that they didn't foresee happening. But that has happened a whole lot. Please hit like, subscribe, welcome thoughts, comments, and I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands, keep your mind clear. And let me tell you something. Remember those who served on Memorial Day and the people that fought in the wars and stuff. But this here on these streets, that's a different situation. And you might need to bring them out for this because it doesn't seem like the local politicians or laws are actually following to taking care of the people that they're supposed to serve. And that's where you take a knee. Not for the military, but for the people that are in the ground zero who seem to be oblivious and turning their head against what's really happening. I'm out.